14, turning into love zone.
Howdy folks, today we've got a squeaky tractor. Something in this steering column is obviously a little dry. We're sitting at 185 hours on this machine, so truthfully we're about 10 hours over on a service anyway. Do it every 25 hours. It's just kind of a quick check over, grease lubrication, you know, check the air filter, check the oil kind of thing. So it's pretty straightforward. Good a time as any to bring her in and find out what that squeal is all about. I believe it's somewhere in here. I think the easiest way to get to it is to pull the steering wheel off, which once you got your center cap off, it's one bolt. If I look in here, truthfully, it just rides in a bit of a plastic bushing. I'm going to hit that with white lithium grease, I think, as well as the sector shaft down below. We'll see if that improves things any. Let's see if that helped. Getting better. Time to break out the grease gun. And that's it. I did mention this is a pretty quick and easy little service. Basically just greasing the kingpins and the bushings on the front wheels and front deck wheels. It's the only grease fittings on the machine. A little oil up of the steering mechanism and check the engine oil. It's good to go. I'm not going to bother with tire pressures. I'm going to do that pretty soon. Winter's looming, and when I put on the tire chains for winter, I'll check all the tire pressures then. The next service is at 200 hours, so it's only about 15 operational hours from now. That's going to be a big one. Air filter, oil change, fuel filter, that's all easy stuff. But I also have to check and adjust the valve lash on the Kohler engine. Cub Cadet says, take that to your dealer to get it done. I'm not too concerned about it. These Kohler engines are actually pretty easy to work on. So it should go pretty easily, but it is all going to add up and take a little bit more time than usual. I think I'll probably have to worry about that probably in the spring. By the time we're done worrying about clearing all the snow, I think we'll have accumulated those 15 hours. So until then, we're going to keep mowing. Cheers. And so I've decided to put a new handle on this axe. If you followed along for a little bit, you also know that my last attempt didn't really end up well. So I've got a new handle here from PV Mart, and I've sanded off all the varnish, which is really just there to keep handprints off it, and I'm promptly adding my own handprints, but we'll clean that up in a little bit once this head is hung. And you can see here that, you know, we've kind of started up in actually up in this region is kind of where we got to at first, and now we're all the way down to here. We're getting pretty close to where we need to be, biting in pretty hard along here, so I'm going to file that off. And this side still looks pretty good. I'll just give it a quick file up, and we'll see how far the next fitting goes. Good. All right. That's looking pretty good. We've just got a little bit of curl along there. Really nothing here. And if we, I don't know if you can see, getting like that maybe. Kind of, now it's dark. Kind of all from maybe here to here. It's making really nice contact. So we're just going to clean up here to here. Mark how far we got with it, and I'll join you again next round. Alright guys, I brought over a light, so hopefully you can see a little better. Turn it a bit here. This is fitting really nicely. I can see it making contact from there all the way to there. That's pretty decent. This side, got curl from here to here. I'd love to see that all the way around, but really, if you look at where this is sitting now, I don't think I could even get another 1/4 inch out of this. We're still not sticking out of the top, which would be ideal. I don't think we'll get that far, which is a little too bad, but I can live with it. So I think one more go around with the file, and I think we'll be there. Alright, this may be the final fit. Little test. Got some bounce to it, which means if this head wasn't all the way down when we dropped it like this, it wouldn't bounce. It would just go and be dead. Check that out. That looks awesome. It's just ever so slightly proud at the top. Just the slightest hint of curl there. It's actually really well seated at the back. Tiny gap at the front. We're not going to be able to do much about that. I'm super happy with this. Next step is to wedge it. Alright friends, check it out. Got it just buried there. And it is now wooden wedge put in. It didn't go as deep as I would have maybe liked, but it started to really split. Nevertheless, you can see that this is spread right out. Used to be a big gap there, and it spread right out. and with 2 metal wedges just buried in there, actually countersunk a little bit. I'm pretty sure I could whale this axe straight against my vise over here 100 times, and this is not coming loose. So all that really remains is to sand down this handle a little bit, clean it up, give it a nice kind of burn with a torch, bring out the grain, and a nice oil a couple of times, couple coats, and this axe should be good to go for another, well, I could stand to give it a better sharpening too, but I need to get my hands on some sharpening stone and that kind of thing to get this really where it needs to be. But this is going to be a good axe for years to come. I'm not sure how well this is actually going to come through on the camera, but wow. This WHEEK Danish oil in dark walnut on this axe handle. I've given it a bit of a random burn just with a torch, but this stuff, oh my goodness, I'm just pouring it on like crazy, and kind of hard to get it up by the head here, but I'm going to try. Just kind of pouring it down here nice and heavy as I go, making a big mess. That's okay. A bit on the end here. But the color on this is just incredible. Rubbing it in with a rag, giving it just really heavy, letting it soak in. I should have got some pictures of it before, because this just looks so nice and rich now compared to before. Oh, this is a wonderful product. On recommendation of Buckin' Billy Ray Smith, this is how he finishes his axe handles, this exact product. Maybe not the exact color, but the exact product. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me, and I am so impressed. Get a cleaner rag here. Oh man, that just looks amazing. I couldn't be happier with that. I was chopping wood with this just the other day. We had a little hot dog wiener roast outside, and this thing chops just as good as ever, and I really haven't even paid much attention to sharpening it. It definitely needs some work on the sharpening side, but wow, fantastic.